Hey traders, John Hall here. Hope you guys are doing well. In this video I'm going to be a bit of just a recap or a bit of a week ahead. What's likely to happen moving forward this week. So let's go straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video. Trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There is no guarantees of making money in the markets, and trading is the most hardest thing you will ever do, and it takes a long time to become a good trader. So this video is just educational only. If you're struggling with your trading right now, then click on the very first link in the description and get learn a free training, the 7 universal laws to become a master trader that will boost your success, consistency, and confidence without spending a decade trying to figure it out. Click on the very first link in the description right now. Alright traders, so I hope you guys are doing well. First thing that I want to say is, what chart do you guys prefer? Leave it in the chat box below. Do you guys prefer an open highlight close chart like this type of chart through here? Or do you prefer like a candlestick chart like this one here? Which one do you prefer? Yeah, which one do you like the best out of that? Just curious to see which one you like. I flick between them all. But I always keep coming back to open highlight close because it's much easier to read and much easier to see as well too. And sometimes I even just go back to this blank chart with just one moving average. Anyway, so let's actually have a quick look at what's actually going across the board with all the markets itself. So firstly, I want to share with you. Let's have a look at silver and gold here for a minute. So this is the silver chart here for right now, and you can see right now that this obviously this long-term trend line that's been through here we've started breaking past this level. Now we have a lot of support where we are right now, so it's very difficult to see what's going to happen with silver. On this long-term chart through here, we still could be getting a little rally back up and creating this little high low through here. So very interesting. Where does actually silver break? Where does it break? Does it break up? Does it break down? And again, if you really look at the overall picture, what's happening with silver, like the bigger picture, it's really, there's no one really in control. You know what I mean? When you look at the bigger picture here, it's like we're just basically going sideways. One of the best things that my mentor taught me is that one of the worst things you can do is get into a trade when there's no one in control. Meaning it's just going sideways and what we call a time phase. If you guys understand GAN, it's called time phase where the market's resting. This whole last 12 months has been where the silver's been resting. The most highest probability trades that my mentor said is that when someone's clearly in control, and that's what you can see right now happening with the silver chart. Let's go look at actual gold as well too. And gold right now, as you can see, even though gold's been rolling, having a little drop off through here as well too. Once again, gold for me right now is still creating that big massive bull flag through here. And we're still filling this in right now. So we had that big run up and we're still filling this in right now. I am still expecting a pretty big move on the upside when it comes to silver and gold, and what's going to happen through there. So that's what I do see there, guys. But on this short-term chart, you can see here that we still could be coming down through here and filling in this chart. And maybe even getting down towards this 50% level. That 1300 level is definitely a major area of support when it comes to those. Now looking at other things such as like the HUI. The HUI index is actually just continuing to roll over. And as you can see, it's continuing to roll over. And we do have a lot of area through here. So this 160 area here on the HUI, the gold stocks, this looks like a pretty decent target for the market to flush down because there's probably going to be a lot of stops just below this low through here. And then I believe we could start to see a bit of a move to the high side. But we'll see about that. The markets continue to roll over through there. XAU, pretty much the same thing as well too. Let me just bring this over through here like that. Pretty much the same thing with the XAU, just really going sideways through here. Really no one in control. As you can see, higher high, double bottom, double top, triple bottom, sideways. So there's no one really in control of this market through here. If you go have a look at, say, things like the GDX, same thing with the GDXJ, same thing as well. And also with the silver, with silver as well too. Silver actually broke down and broke back up and now sort of just going sideways. But overall, what are we still getting overall on these these major stocks? Lower high, and breaking down. Once we start to break up and break out of these highs, then that's when we can start to see a pretty decent move out of the markets through there. So that's what we do see there on the market, on the gold stocks through there, obviously silver and gold. Let's go have a look at the indices right now. Let's actually see what the indices are sharing with us right now. So for starters, obviously we broke out of this wedge now. We're just breaking out of this wedge and coming down. We definitely have this trend line in play right now where we are. And you can see the market actually broke down and just a little rally up. And it was expiration on Friday. So we had a lot of volume come in on this Friday through here on this day chart. Now, when we look at this weekly chart through here, we actually can see that the market's really just having a lot of problems trying to break up, especially the Dow Jones. Really having a lot of problems trying to break up and out. So with that being said, if you watch my market update video yesterday, we can see how this weekly chart is telling me that we should be getting a bit of a significant rally back down through here. And very similar to the S&P 500 as well too. You see this bit of drop down, and it's not strong at all. Like it's not a V bottom. It's not a strong rally up. It's not a strong rally out. We are creating a lot of problems here on this weekly chart, and again, you can see this on the daily chart as well too, creating a lot of problems where we are right now. So it'll be really interesting to see what's going to happen moving forward this week. And the reason why is because you can see that if we have a look at the short-term chart, you can see how we made this higher high and we have this higher low, and we just pulled back here and we just sort of hold through here. So this still could be another little higher low, and we could just rally back up and rally out. It'd be really interesting to see what's going to happen there. But the interesting thing is that the Dow Jones continue to make those lower highs, breaking away from the S&P, which is really weird. So we'll just have a look. That's the SPY. This is the DIA as well too. And as you can see, the volume's been pretty low as well too the last couple of days. I do expect to see a bit of a drop down here on the Dow Jones, and I believe the Dow Jones is going to probably drag down the S&P with it. What do you guys think that's going to happen through there? Moving forward into the Nasdaq. Now what's happened with the Nasdaq? The Nasdaq has done what? The Nasdaq broke up to new highs, came back down, and just basically created just a couple of sideways days. It didn't really pop up. We didn't get a bounce here. We didn't get a rally back up or nothing yet. So it'd be really interesting to see what's going to happen between these levels through here, because we definitely have a support level through there. But looking at this overall weekly chart through here, this could be a final little, this could be a, or it could be, but this here could be a final little high, little rally back up, false breakout, and continue back down. If we start to see a bit of a drop back down below these levels through here, especially this level through here, on the break back below, say the 7,800 level, that's gonna definitely then confirm that this is a false breakout, and therefore we're likely to see a lot more downside to come out of that there. So that's what I see there, guys, overall on the indices through there. There's a lot of things that's happening in the market right now. And the most important thing you need to do, and I can look at all the other indices as well too, but that's not to worry, is to make sure you just keep an eye on what the actual charts are telling you. Make sense? Just make sure you're doing that. And so then the reason why I say that is because if you have a look at things like, say, TSLA, say Tesla, you know, you just make sure you're just watching what the charts are telling you. You know what I mean? So, like for example, just always be analyzing the chart. We have a low, we have a high, we have a higher low. Now we have a lower high. Who's in control through here? No one, right? So there's no one really in control. If we have a look at Apple, higher low, breaking up, but it's not really. They're not really significant, are they? They're just a little rally up and a little rally up. The buyers are definitely struggling to break up and break out. So that's what I'm seeing through there, and that's what that's basically what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm seeing in the markets through there. So if we have other things like that, and even things like Amazon, I've been talking a lot about this with my private clients as well, but Amazon, I do believe, is getting ready for a bit of a drop down. If you have a look at this weekly chart, Amazon has had a pretty significant massive rally up, so a reversal in the market could actually indeed happen in the market. And so that's basically what I'm looking at there when that's happened through there. So there's Amazon, other stocks like Netflix, other stocks like Netflix. You can see the same thing with Netflix, big rally back up. So I'm expecting to see this market start to reverse a little bit and start to come down as well too. So, but again, you just don't know what's going to happen here. This trend can continue. So just because the market's overheated or overextended doesn't mean it's going to come down. This can continue to have its little rally and then continue rallying back up for quite some time. I don't think that's going to happen because we have had a we are pretty far away from the moving average. So I do expect to see a bit of a pullback even on the Nasdaq stocks and all those other stocks as well too. So just make sure you keep an eye on those charts as well too there. So there we go, guys. This is what I see moving forward through this week. It's going to be really interesting to see what actually happens. Overall, I definitely see the stock market pulling back because the Dow Jones is continuing to show that weakness right there. And silver and gold, that's going to be a very difficult one. You know, we may have a little drop down, but I think that gold is likely to hold strong overall. You know, and we may get a little bit of a pullback, but I think long term we're going to break out of that and see a nice rally up. What do you guys think?